Right, hello guys. Welcome to Tuesday night's showpiece. It's WAOF1 of course, and it's our final race of the season. Um, we're at Brazil, full qualifying 50% race, as you can see on your screens anyway. Should be a good one. Is everything over? Well, no it's not. Drivers' Championship is finished. We can congratulate Car Seat on being the Drivers' Champion this evening, but the Constructors' Battle is very much still alive. So let's have a look-see while we're waiting for the shouts are ready up. Well, it looks like the shout's gone out actually, but while we're waiting for the qualifying to load up then, so where are BDO standings? There it is. So Constructor standings, we've currently got Alpine leading the way, which is Rocket Reed and Whale. They are 13 points ahead of Ferrari, which is Carsey and Oozers. We would have thought both owners would have been, both of the bosses would have been in a Constructors battle coming over the last race of the season. Then we got Red Bull on 258, so they're a little bit further behind, 26 points to Ferrari, obviously meaning 39 points to Alpine. So mathematically, not impossible, but very unlikely. So, in terms of driver standings, as I say, Carsey has won the title already due to a four-week last week for Racing J. So just looking down from that though, Moomin Rider's currently in P3 on 180, with Whale on 165 and P4. So that third place is still up for grabs between Moomin and Whale. You would think that if Whale finishes in the top three, probably means that Alpine take the Constructors as well. So, it could be that teammate might help out with that. Let's see how it goes first, I guess. So we're ready in a way. Dagooner, Haley, where are you from? I'm from Bristol, mate. Can you tell the accent? I live in Devon now. I live in Paignton in Devon now, but I am from Bristol. Hello, Taylor Mackenzie and Dead Lockyer. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining, all of you, and everybody else that's out there as well. Numbers already great. Always is for WAOF1, I have to admit. Thank you so much to all of you. So I know it's mostly the same people each week and they've been following all season, so thank you ever so much to all of you. Won't be the same without you. And I will be carrying on next season. So we'll be season 2 obviously starting a new year. And I will be here streaming. As much as I want to be out on track with these guys, because the racing is fantastic in this league. I do love doing the commentary as well, so Mr. Whale, thank you ever so much. Another subscription from you. You have now been subscribed for 7 months, Mr. Whale. Thank you ever so much. Alpine Constructors coming home. Well, I may just have to support you now you've subscribed again. No, we can't have a biased commentator, can we? It'll be fair. So, go on with Taylor, in a way. Taylor Mackenzie. So, he's already said hi in the chat, but he's first out on track here at Brazil. And I'm just hoping, if I'm absolutely honest with you guys, I'm just hoping that the stream holds up tonight. I attempted to stream an F2 race last night for ERC, and unfortunately it just would not work. So far tonight seems okay. I think mostly last night it was due to the Wi-Fi struggling because of really bad weather here last night. So really windy and absolutely horrendously bad rain as well. So it's kind of storm-like weather, and so I think that caused that really. But anyway, to the race, and Taylor on his hot lap then. Getting this underway. Regards a good timer. Well, the pole position guys will be looking at maybe getting into the 107s. It's certainly be low 108s, but the fastest guys may well get into the 107s. In fact, I'd almost say I expect Carsey to, and I probably expect Rocket Reed to as well. Having said that, a low 108 is extremely good around here as well, so... Oh, just invalidation there from Taylor on the... was effectively the final corner. That Ferrari, is that... that's Carsey. So it looks like Carsey's going to be first to set a lap then. Oh no, he invalidates. He stayed too far left. Well, he's 108.009 there, but he invalidated it by staying too far left on the pit entry and was across the white line. So we go then to Fatal Defiance, who's going to be first on the board now with 112.192. Just recently, as you can see, his energy's still 100%. Just recently, Fatal's been doing race practices in the early part of qualifying, so 108.774 from Rookie, 109.668, 688 from Junkie. Operator into third on a 110.3. We've got some Red Bulls coming up. This one's Racing J. His teammate's just ahead of him. His teammate's on an outlap though, so that may have been... I think he may have been giving him a tow, or it might have just been accidental. Well, yeah, he won't give him a tow. He's done a 123 Racing J. Clearly had an incident or something. That's Freeman goes directly across turn 1. And Whale goes fast. It's 108.5 at this stage. This is only Q1, guys, I've got to admit. I wasn't expecting to see sort of mid-low 108s. I mean, Carsey was going to did a 108.0 that he invalidated literally just before the line. I wasn't expecting to see times like that until qualifying 3. There's Whoopi on his way round. He's 108.6. Goes into P2. Junkie into the pits. Racer as well. Who is that driver coming on their way round now if I can get them? No, I didn't get there in time. It was Reed. He's gone P3 anyway, 108.774. McLaren. It's Danny. He's on an outlap, but actually let's go with Danny then. He starts a hot lap, so been a lot of races since Danny last raced in WAOF1. He is down as a reserve. He was never sort of meant to be a full-time driver, as much as it would be awesome to have him on driving against Carsey and Reed and the rest of them. I don't think he's had the... I mean, he works for something sometimes on Tuesdays, so didn't want to take a full-time seat that he couldn't commit to, which is absolutely fair enough. So the Gooner now goes fastest on a 108.5. And it's one thing with this track, because it's a bit like Austria in a way, it's such a short lap. As you can see, 108's in qualifying at the moment, and Maim, as I say, I think we probably will see a 107 by the end of Q3. But yeah, it's such a short lap around here that it does usually lend to being a much more compact, closer grid. As Danny now goes fastest on a 108.4. This is Oozers, but actually he's already done his time, 109.4, so Oozers sitting in P6 at the moment, doing very nicely indeed. We'll go to Moomin, who's doing his lap on a set of mediums. So we do have a full 20-man grid, so will be 5 drivers leaving us at the end of the session. Moomin on his way up to through the last part of the track and heads for the line. And 109.1 on the mediums, goes P6. They'll probably see him through, I don't think. low 109s are going to be in any real danger come the end of Q1. His teammate now, Taylor McKenzie, actually gets out of the way of a Red Bull. Freeman on a slow lap. That Red Bull, by the way, was racing Jay. He's on an outlap in a way, so no issues there. Called by the pool, across the line, 109.3. RC heading for the line once more. And, not so quick this time, 109.0, but it puts him P6 in a way, just ahead of Moomin. But a full second slower than he did go on first attempts, which he invalidated, so say literally invalidated by staying too far left on the pit entry part, where he was trying to do what everybody does and just cut a little bit. So Soklovic 126.8 at the moment, but obviously that's not a proper time. So we got now, this is Reedy. Not on a hot lap. Guess he's starting a hot lap. See how he goes. He's on the medium tyres at the moment. Yeah, he is up, so just over a tenth up. He goes, well, if he keeps improving like that, he's going to do a lap as fast on the mediums that I generally expect to do on the softs in a qualifying session, to be quite honest. Now, TT is in the high 107s around here, but it's in quali I would generally be doing a lower 108 sort of time. Out the final corner. I just missed the split time there, so I'm not sure what the improvement was. Keeps it to the left end, crosses the line, 108.557. So improves by a couple of attempts. Still behind his teammate at the moment. Very close to two Alpines, and they're doing what they need to do, just getting through to the next session. While using the time to get a bit of practice in as well. That's Moomin, he's got an invalidation there. I think he was on the in-lap in a way, because he wasn't going too fast, so... oh, Hunter out on track. I think just noticed his name. Hello, Hunter. Good man. Nice to see you out on track. For those of you out there that may not know Hunter, because I don't think he's raced in the WAOF1 before, he runs the hybrid racing F1 League that I also commentate on Sunday nights, and I race in on Monday nights. So 109.3 from Hunter, and really capable of quite a bit more than that. So, Gaz at the moment in a bit of trouble actually, further down the order. He's in P17 at the moment on 109.8. He is up in Sector 1. Heading round. Hello, Oozers, buddy. Hope you're well, man. P13 at the moment. Gazza goes into P14 just behind Oozers, but he's done that on the medium tyres, so I think really he's done a bit more of a practice here. So, I've forgotten how I'm supposed to say this name. Oh, I'll just call him Geordie Haas. He's in a Haas again, so I'll just call him Geordie Haas again. He did tell me what his name was, but I've completely and utterly forgotten. Was it Dave? It might have been Dave. Obviously, he's actually a Geordie, so he's a fellow Newcastle fan like me. The difference is he's actually a Geordie, residing in Bristol. On a 9.2, improves by just over 3.5 attempts, goes up to P11, which again knocks Gaza a bit dangerously close to the drop zones. So It's not going to be a case of just drive in and be happy with that from Gaz. He's going to have to go out again on a set of sauce. Baz heading for the line. He's on an out lap. So start sort of concentrating on the guys a bit further down now. Just under 5.5 minutes to go in Q1. And, obviously, the whole point of Q1 is to be in a. You need to get through by being in the top 15. So the Gooner is the first driver to decide that he's done enough and retire out. I completely agree. He's definitely done enough on a 108.5. I'm sure. Pete follows suit, retires out as well on a 108.6. Look at that though, half a second covering a top 8 in a moment. And you may well find it's closer than that as we move on as well, as we go further. So Baz not improving, unfortunately. Let's go down to Soklovic. He's improved his time since we last looked at him. He's up to a 110.7 now. Just starting a hot lap by the looks of things. As Reedy retires from the session as well, having done enough. I suspect a low 109 will get you through, but actually a low 109 at the moment is sat in P12, so it's not exactly. It wouldn't have you feeling too confident, would it? To be quite honest. Surely you ain't got to get into the 108s just to get through Q1. That would be something. Whale retires now as well. Carsey follows suit as well. Currently in P7 on a 108.6. So he did improve. And that we saw was a 109.0, so he took 3 tenths off of that. Danny retires as well. He knows he's safe because enough have retired below him that he couldn't possibly drop all the way down. So Soklovic in a way heads to the line. Looks better. And it is 109.848. Puts him into P18 at the moment. But a better lap. Well done. Newman's out there. So he's driving very slow at the moment. He's 1.8 seconds down in sector 1. So this is Gaza, but he's just coming around to start a lap actually. So actually, let's do a hilly hot lap with him. Just coming up to the Senna S. Very nice through there. Tidy. Open up the DRS here. He heads down to turn 4, which you'd normally be taking in quality in 5th gear. So uses 4th and then short shifts up to 5th on the exit. So obviously he doesn't need to put in his absolute ultimate lap here. He just needs to improve on what he's done already. Into the tight, twisty sector now. So it's all sort of lateral hairpins really. And, keep the car pretty far over to the left to take a good late apex in that right-hander, and then flat out through the left and into what is effectively the final corner of the lap. Get a good exit. It's all about exit at that corner to take the speed all around what is, as I say, it's effectively a straight. It's a gentle left-hander all the way up. Head for the line, and it's 108.6 from Gaza, puts him into P6. And in absolutely no danger anymore. That has knocked Oozers down to P16, and he's on an outlap at the moment. Freeman was on a lap, but he's back to out of that one. Very unusual to see Freeman in a drop zone at this point in Q1, but see how it goes. Don't think Soklovic is on a lap there, so let's move on again. Operator not on a lap, so I think Fatal might be. He's just coming up to the end of sector 2 now, and yeah, he's 5.5 temps up. So that would be He still needs a bit more, actually. So tight it is, actually. He does need a bit more time out of this. So 109.536 is not good enough. That's P17 for Fatal Defiance. Extremely unusual to see him going out in Q1. Racing J retires from the session, but it is a Q1 exit for Fatal, so very unusual for him, but that's what it is. Users just coming up to the end of Sector 2. And just needs to keep it steady. He's up 3 temps. He's going to go up. Yeah, he's going to be safe. As long as he don't do anything silly over the line here, it's going to be safe. It's 109.088 from Users, puts him into P13 and through to Q2. Carsey will be happy with his teammate there. So, Mackenzie heads for the line. 9.3. No improvement there from him. Fatal, we know, isn't on a lap. Sokolovic is coming into the pits, so that's it. That's the end of quali. Hunter's still out there. I don't know. No, he's not on a time. Not on a hot lap, so that's it then. So we're going to lose. 5 drivers that we're going to lose are Baz the Ninja, Fatal Defiance, Freeman Gies, Damir Sokolovic, and Operator from Q1. And top 15, of course, all through. Who just survived was Jordy Haas. P15, but look at that, 15th place is a 109.274. 12th and above are in the 108s. That is, I'll tell you what a grid of drivers we've got. Superb. Absolutely brilliant. That's only Q1, mind. I mean, that's the top 12 drivers in the 108s, and it's only Q1. So, all these guys just outside of the top 12 would all be capable of doing that as well, so... Tell you what, if all 15 drivers in Q2 can manage a 108, then, my goodness, it's going to be close. Yeah, you're doing alright, users. You are free, buddy. And nervous for this? Don't be nervous. Just let Carsey do what he's got to do, and you can only do what you can do, mate. Stay out of trouble and try and pinch some points. If at any point one of these Alpine drivers come out, perhaps pit and come out behind you, or you know, or have a spin or something, or you have a great start and get ahead of them, and just, you know, fight them, keep them behind as best you can. I'm looking at those times. I'm looking at Reed on 108.5 of a set of mediums. That's some lap time, that. And obviously Carsey, we saw, did a 108.0, which he invalidated. Yeah, there is, Hunter. Definitely some pace here, mate. It's... But yeah, I think that the top 15 drivers could all be in the 108s here. But they're all at least extremely close to it. But the top driver, I think pole position is going to be in the 107s. But I have no idea how far into the 107s to expect. I don't know how much people are backing off, but usually... if they're going slower, they'll be going backwards. Usually the top guys, such as like Carsey, Reed, Racing J, Moomin, Danny, Whoopi, Whale, I'll stop talking now because there's loads of them, Daguna. Usually with those guys, they tend to just back off slightly in the early part of qualifying. They don't tend to be trying to put in their fastest laps. It's just about cruising around, really. Just getting a time on the board is going to get you through. say cruising range, still doing 200 miles an hour in a Formula 1 car. It's over 200 miles an hour. So. I don't know how to explain. When you're doing a sort of a comfortable lap, so you're not really pushing. It's not. You're still driving as fast as you would on your absolute best lap, but what you're doing is you're not attacking the corners. You're not really going for the curbs and things like that, because that's what can cause you to spin and things like that. So, you know, you just ease off basically. Operator having a bit of problem with invalidating, mate. It is one of those tracks, Brazil. It is very easy to invalidate around here, so don't be too hard on yourself, mate. It's just it's part of it with Brazil, I think. Oh, look, he has a little spin. Coming out of centre S. Easy to do there. That means he's not first anymore, anyway. So who is now? Williams, by the looks of it, I think. Yeah, it's Gaza. Stick to him. I'm looking pretty tidy at the moment. So you have to just bear in mind at the start of Q2 is quite often the drivers will just get a lap on the board by using the old set of tires from Q1. So the first laps you don't tend to see the drivers fastest. So there you are, 109.5 from Gaza. Garci's into the 107s already. 107.9 at the start of Q2. Oh goodness me, how fast can this guy go? That is like, what's my time trial time? I think my time trial is 107.8. To do that in a qualifying session is just and it's only the start of Q2. He's not even trying yet. Oh, cool by the pool. Did you see that? As he was spinning around, he's been given a 5-place grid penalty. He's going to be so annoyed right now in that car. That is gutting when the game does that. He's spun. What do you expect him to do? He's got to spin back round so he's facing the right direction. It's not worth a 5-place grid penalty whatsoever. Is that a Ferrari? It is. Zoozers is I don't know what he's doing, to be honest, but he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Who else have we got? Look at Whoopi. I think he didn't get a proper lap time on the board, so I assume he's going again. He is indeed. 7 seconds up for what he's done. There's a 109, so probably going to gain a bit more in the final sector as well. Well, 109.2. Again, as I say, these guys are probably using old tyres. Reed's managed to 108.1. Moomin up to a 108.2. So much faster than he went in Q1. And Brayson J as well, 108.6. Whale, same. Taylor McKenzie onto a 108.9. That's a nice lap from Taylor. Let's get to Danny then. He's just going up to the line. Is this his top lap? It is. 108.7. Puts him P6. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess at what is going to be a safe time. I think you're going to have to be in the low 108s, quite frankly. The way it's playing out at the moment, it's looking like you're going to have to be in the low 108s to consider yourself safe. I don't think anybody from P4 down at the moment definitely can't consider themselves safe on the time they've done. Yeah, Carsey's retired out. I think he is safe in the high 107.9, but I don't think he is safe, definitely. But and I think Reed and Newman would be safe. But I must admit, the way this is going at the moment, if I was Moomin, I might not necessarily retire straight away when I get back to the pit, so maybe hang on a bit. bits. So nobody out at the moment, that's why I'm sort of not really watching anyone. Hunter's on an out lap and he's just coming out the final corner now. Flashing yellows, it's a slow McLaren ahead of us. So he's into the pits in a way, so out of the way. He's up with DRS and heads down to the end of sector 1. 16.9. Off the top of my head, that's a decent start to the lap. So, we're looking pretty tidy. Good. Yeah, it's nicely done from Hunter so far. And decent final corner as well. I think he's going to get a decent sort of marker lap on the board for his next run. .108.8 puts him P7 for the moment, Hunter. It's a decent lap, very good lap. But at the moment, P10, Daguna, is on a 109. And P9 actually, Cool by the Pool is on a 109. To say, they've all got another run. I don't expect the top 10. Oh, sorry, I don't expect anybody inside the top 10 to be outside the 108s. And so you might well see the whole field. Just a driver on a hot lap at the moment. So, oh, actually, we didn't. Rocket Reed was on a hot lap. He's slightly improved. 108.077. I'm sure he hasn't used a fresh set of softs to do that, and I'd be amazed if he did. I think Reed's got more time in him yet, you know, and I don't think this is a foregone conclusion Carsey pole, let's put it that way, like you see some weeks. Well, it's always Reed that's battling him in, isn't it? It's closest to him. So, who's just heads for the line then? 109.4, puts him ahead of Gaza for the moment, into 14th position. But as I said, it's those initial laps are more like sighters for your hot lap in a bit. Junkie not improving. So they're down as well. Cool, don't forget, Cool's got a 5-place grid penalty from wherever he qualifies. He's improving, 4 attempts up at the moment, so he's flying into the 108s. He's looking at around P7, I would say. Although if he finds a bit more, he could actually end up like 5th, maybe. So yeah, it goes P5, just behind his teammate. They're so close, aren't they? Daguna and Cool by the Pool. I think they're great, absolutely great team. These two, Yeah, I don't know if they've decided to stay together for next season or not, if they've requested that, but I'd like to think they have. So, brings to then, this is Jordy Haas. So, 10th down in sets of 1. It's nothing really, not 10th. If anything, when you're 10th down in sets of 1, it's just annoying. You know you full well you can make it back up. But when you don't do your best for a sector on what's supposed to be your big attempts, it's so frustrating. And that's the end of sector 2 now in a way. The rest of the laps look pretty good. And yeah, he is up now, see, just under a 10th up. Up to 9. Open up DRS, keep it to the left hand side. So you can't do it. Getting a little bit of time by keeping it to the left there. Improves by a quarter of a second in the end. Still P12. That is 108.9 for P12. 108.9 for P13 as well, which is Taylor McKenzie at the moment. We'll come down to Gazoo again, is leaving it late in the session. He's P15 currently. No doubt he'll shoot up by the end of this lap, but might put a bit of pressure on yourself by doing a slower first stint or first lap. Danny, wow, okay, the battle's on for pole. Danny goes fastest, 107.8. It's almost like he's done that deliberately. In fact, I bet he has done that deliberately. Almost to say to Carsey and Reedy, hey, I'm here, boys. I've turned up tonight. Gaza is 9 tenths up. It's going to put him into the 108s. He still needs a bit more time. It's Whale in P10 who's in trouble here. Need a bit more time here, Gaza. It's 108.6. I think he'd actually be absolutely gobsmacked to see 108.6 put in P10, and it's dropped. Whale goes 108.0. Absolutely super lap from Whale. 108.0, and believe it or not, that 108.6 from Gaza has just been knocked out as it stands. Answer, oh, he's just invalidated. It's just the one driver in Q2 that isn't in the 108s currently. And they are heading out of the pits now. So, who else we got here? Anybody spot any minuses? There's one. Junior. Coming onto a hot lap, but he's just made a... Well, I don't know if he's actually just made a little bit... Yeah, he did make a little bit of a mistake, so... He's back to this one. Right, laps going on, a few right laps. Who's that just went past, actually? There's only 15 drivers. How can I not find this driver? There they are. Oh no, he's on the night lap. Okay, well, we'll go with him then. So I'm currently in P10. It's a bit out of shape, but what's really attacking this is Whoopi here. Rocket Reed, by the way, is heading into the 107s. How many sets of tyres has he got? Oh, Whoopi! He's just had a bit too much steering input while getting onto the power through the left-hander and spun him round. It's a Williams that's gone past. That's Gazo's not going to make it to the line to have another go. And Oozers is invalidated, so Oozers the only one not to get into the 108s in Q2, but that was obviously his main attempt there, and or his big attempt, and unfortunately an invalidation. Looks like it's it, actually. I don't think anybody can improve, so no, they can't. So he's just going to do some donuts. And he goes. Users racing. I was the donut. It didn't do a 108. There's your doing well, man. Oh, Taylor's doing some donuts now. Must have heard that Oozers did some and thought, well, I'll do some of them as well. Here we go. It's in a way. In terms of the qualifying then, guys, so it does mean we're going to lose Taylor McKenzie, who will start P11. Well, maybe not P11 actually, because remember, Cool by the Pool is a 5-place grid penalty, so it depends where he qualifies in Q3. But some of these guys may actually nick an extra place because of that. But we're going to lose Taylor McKenzie, Gaza, Hunter, Gordy Haas, and Oozers from Q2. I look at these names, so Gaza, Hunter, Taylor clearly good pace, 108.6. Gaza, Hunter, see guys like that coming out Q2 in the league is absolutely unreal. Really does show the strength of WAOF1. It is Davey, is it? I thought it was Dave earlier on. So close into Q3. Well, you were, Taylor. Really close, buddy. I said it was going to be a tight one, that. And 3/4 of a second covering the whole of the top 10. And there was just, you saw the confirmation flash up there that Call by Paul picked up a 5-place grid penalty. So wherever he qualifies, he will start 5 places below, with all the drivers between being promoted up 1 place. So then, well, look at this top 10. Danny, Carsey, Rocket Reed, Whale, Racing J, Moomin, Dagooner, Cool by the Pool, Junkie Emperor, Whoopi. Can you believe that Whoopi has just qualified for Q3 in 10th place? That's a really quick driver for you. So, well, anybody want to call it? Who's going to get the pole, guys? Because clearly it's between Danny, Carsey and Rocket Reed. Although, to be fair, Well stuck his name in the hat as well with a 108.0. I'd almost always say Carsey, but that from Danny really surprised me, because Danny admitted himself he's not been playing the game really, so that's some lap from him. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to throw my support behind Rocket Reed, because I think he's still got plenty of time left in him. He's laps he's done so far, he kind of been using fresh sets of tyres every lap. They improved, so because he wouldn't have any left. So I think we're going to get these laps in pretty sharpish here. You can see everybody's out. Now I don't know whether there's a possibility of rain. Just looking at it, it's pretty dark and dingy. The sky doesn't look great, so I wonder if there could be some rain at some point during this Q3. It'll explain why everybody has really gotten out very quickly. Right, first to get out there was Dagooner. Let's see who we're with. Rain in 10 minutes, says Taylor. Okay. And wait till wasted a set of sauce to. Well, it's only 1 set of sauce, mate. Should have plenty left. Sorry, the Gooners. I was reading my comments, and the Gooners invalidated. So let's go to Ferrari, which, as we know, must be car seat. So in that case, Taylor, do you know, are we expecting rain in the race? Is it full dry? I think I'd rather full dry. I don't. To be honest, I don't mind. I'm sat in the commentary box. I ain't gonna get wet. Oh, here we go. Carsey 107.683 from Carsey. Danny 1080. Whale just coming up to the line. There's a few drive. Oh, Whale into the pits. Called by the pool into the pits. Whoopi into the pits. Moomin crosses the line to a 108.2. Puts in P3. What happens sometimes. 108.1 from Racing J. Oh, what did I do there? Okay, so what else has happened there? Yeah, Racing J 108.1 goes P4. Junkie 108.9 into P6. But yeah, this is what can happen sometimes in Q3 because people start, you know, you're going to get 2 runs, 2 attempts, so people push like mad, and so we've clearly had 3 invalidations that meant that those 3 drivers are into the pits. Now all of a sudden the pressure goes on them, they've got to get their second run right. They won't get a third. Gunnar is going for the line. 108.7 from the Gunnar then goes P6 at the moment, just ahead of Junkie Emperor. Nobody. 107.7 from Rocket Reed, so I said he had more time in him, that's already proved it. It's only enough for P2 at the moment. Carsey's done a monster lap. Obviously nobody's on a hot lap, they've all had their first attempts, but well, Called by the Pool and Whoopi have already come out for their second attempts and are on out laps, so which one of them is furthest round? Whoopi is, so we'll go with Whoopi. Dry and race, excellent. So Whoopi crossed the line. So just thinking ahead to the race then, so Brazil does hold the opportunity of a 2-stop around here, but I think you're not really going to see that. I think it's being a 50% race, it's the fastest strategy will be a 1-stop. Hard to medium seems to be what the game's saying is the fastest strategy at the moment on the tracks, so hard to medium probably have the advantage and on safety cars, but I think medium to hard will be the favoured strategy by most. I say the 2 steps possible, you see, if you do a 100% race around here, the 2-stop is substantially quicker than the 1-stop, so it only goes to show that the 2-stop must be a viable option, but I suspect on a 50% race it won't be quite as quick as the 1-stop. Maybe a 5 or 6 second difference between the two, which is quite a bit. It's not loads, mind, it does make it an option. Whoopi manages 108.4, which puts him in P6 at the moment. Well coming over the line now as well. 108.1 puts him P4. Called by the Pool, 108.4 as well. 108.4, P8. Have that. Goodness me. Junkie's going to cross the line. Is anybody actually on the lap? Yeah, Carsey is. Slightest smidgen, 0.03 of a second up in sector 1. And just over half a tenth up in sector 2. Goodness me. How does he do it? How does he do it? 108. Sorry, 107.656 goes fastest. I actually lost a little bit of time in the final sector there. Literally 0.02 of a second. So it wasn't very much, but it's lost a little bit. Reed 700ths down through sector 2. Find that. Not impossible to find it through the final sector if you get a massive exit. Oh, he nearly found it. 14 thousandths of a second down on his PB. Stays P2. Danny's in the pit in a way. Still time for him to get out. So, movement into the pits will be on an in lap by the looks of things. Junkie Emperor has just done a lap actually, 108.4. So he's just improved by nearly half a second. But 108.485 has him in P9. That's frightening. The Gooner on an improvement as well. .278. Found loads of time in the final sector there. Goes up to P7. Whoopee. Sire's out. Junkie into the pits. The Gooner. We've just seen him do a lap, so clearly we'll be into the pits. Carsey looks like he's done a cool down and is having another go. Reed retires out in the pits again, so see Carsey through the... Oh, there's rain. There's rain. So yeah, now he's half a second down. I just caught the glimpse of it. There's definitely rain. So that will end the qualifying session effectively. Nobody's going to improve now. Watch Danny down to the end of sector 1. And, he's not far off his PB. Only a quarter of a tenth. But ultimately... Rain's not long started, but this is going to be the sector where you're going to lose a lot of time because of it. So, the high downforce turn, sharp turns and everything. This is going to be where you lose the time. So that's effectively going to end qualifying, as I say. So Carsey pole position, Rocket Reed P2, Danny P3, Whale P4. So close. I'll tell you what, well, that's a fantastic bit of work as Danny Throat just smashes into the wall. Couldn't bother to finish off. Shove it in the wall. Whale, absolutely brilliant. Well done, man. P4. Racing J, P5. Moomin in 6th. See, it's way too wet now. They're really slowing down. So, the Gooner start P7, Whoopee in 8. Cool by the Pool in 9, and Junkie Emperor in 10. These guys did fantastic just to get into Q3 with the pace of the grid out there. So I'm sure there's going to be a dry race. So should be a one-stop. So medium to hard or hard to medium. Safety car dependent. We do have 20 drivers on track. Not every crash would definitely bring a safety car out around here because there is runoff areas. So we may have a safety car free race, to be fair, around here, but it's... I wouldn't say it's low risk around here. I'd say it's a sort of a low to medium risk. I'd probably say medium because it's thinking back in all the races I've done at Brazil over the years, I think probably do normally get a safety car at some point, to be fair, more often than not. Particularly with a full grid. Whoopee, rocket starting current. Well, you usually do. Taylor, you can't go flat out. Try short shifting, mate. You should be able to. If you short shift to 6th, you should find that you can go flat out, unless you're running an extremely high front wing compared to the rear. Well, nobody had gone flat out before that round that corner to start the race anyway, Mackenzie, because too much fuel on board. But there's the confirmation of the results. Danny apparently got P3 without using a set of tyres. That's always impressive. That's because it's a DNF. It's not come up. Cool by the pool then. 9th, but has a 5-place grid penalty, so he's going to drop to 14th with everyone in between moving up. And there's the instance. But, right, guys, so that's the end of qualifying. Congratulations to Carsey on another pole position. Running 13.8, yeah. It's hard for me to comment really, Taylor, because I tend to run the opposite way round. I run a higher rear wing than front, so I prefer an understeery car to an oversteery. So yeah, it's probably you still get benefit from short shifting, but yeah. In a way, guys, I'm going to take the opportunity while the drivers have a 5-minute break to take a quick break myself and grab myself a fresh coffee. So I'll see you in about 5 minutes. See you then for the final race. Right, I'm back and just waiting for the ready up. So I don't think it took too long, so it's going to be a moment, I think. Be able to keep up on the Discord of the standings, so just bear with me. Yeah, just bear with me with that. I just won't see the comments, guys, because we'll keep an eye on the standings and live, sort of as a live update type thing. Nothing's working at the moment anyway. Too late now, isn't it? Well, I won't hear it, will I? You stay up. Right, so the ready up shout's gone out. So, go then. So, we're going to have the formation lap first, of course. We'll do a quick tire check. Right, ooh, okay. The top 6 have all gone hard tyres to start. Gunner and Whoopi both on the mediums now. Well, I'll tell you what, a safety car around about lap 8. It's an example, but a safety car is sort of around lap 8, say. And the Gunner and Whoopi are in. Well, all the medium drivers would be laughing at that point. Because they'd be able to pit to the hards and go to the end. So, it's always a bit of a gamble, to be quite honest, starting on hard tyres. I prefer to start on hards, I must admit. I am with these guys. I do prefer to start on hards, but it is a risk. Now, there you go. Lap 16 to 20 would be your pit stop. If you start on the mediums, so you would assume therefore lap 20 for hards. Quite honestly, guys, you could probably switch that around and do 16 on the hards, 20 on the mediums. So it's not set in stone. I think those guys, when you get to that sort of part of the race, they'll react a little bit more to what's actually happening on track, I suspect. So now at the end of the race, we will be doing, well, as long as everything allows me, we will be doing the usual podium interview, but I'm going to invite Whale and Oozers in as well as the guys that run the league. We'll fire any questions at them, but get info out of them as to when we're looking at starting again and things like that. So, go. Let's clear the screen. Oh, actually, get that back. Position changes now. Right then. Here we go. Lights are about to start coming on. Three, 4, must be 5, and away we go. And Carsey seems to get off the line pretty well. Rocket Reed did bog down slightly. I think the McLaren of Danny's gotten ahead of him. And that's an Alpha Tauri into P3. As Reed defends from Red Bull, which would be Racing J, presumably. Call by the Pool is out. So we've lost an Alfa Romeo. And that is exiting out of the Senna S. And there seems to be the other Red Bull of Freeman Gies has stopped with him, but is now carried on his way. Just called by the Pool that is actually retired, but there's obviously been a contact down there. So in a way, Racing J actually stays where he started, which is very unusual for him. Usually flies off the line, gains places, but he's starting the hards this week, so I bet he wishes he started on the mediums now, actually, because everybody around him started on the hards. So anyway, let's go to Whoopi, who has got that absolute lightning start that he said about in the chat. And he's up to P3. Just to try and outbreak Danny into Senna S. But we've lost another. We've lost Soklovic on the right there. That's a rather unusual place. But out he goes. a little surprised that's not caused a safety car, to be honest. Well, I guess they got a whole lap to run. When I think Freeman's round the centre again there. So away he goes. He's off up and running. Whether he's got any damage from the contact that he had originally from lap 1, I'm not sure. But in terms of that constructors car seat leading for Ferrari, Alpine in P4 and P5, which will carry 22 points. So at the moment Ferrari only gaining 3. So yeah, a long way to go as we get a sets of 2 and 3 yellow. That appears to be a Haas. Is it? No, it's Racing J. It's dropped down to P17. Apologies to the Haas. It certainly wasn't the Haas. It just happens to be in the same part of the track, that's all. And by moving down to see what it was, unfortunately I've missed Whoopi getting past Danny for P2. It's maybe a little bit of a surprise to the likes of Danny and Carsey and Reed, because I don't know if they've driven with Whoopi before. So I know he has got the tyre advantage. The mediums do give you a good advantage around here, by the way. Honestly, when he realised that all the drivers ahead of him were starting on the hards, he'd have been rubbing his hands together. I know him from other leagues, you see, and I know that he's one of these guys that's absolutely, like Racing J, is absolutely blistering off the start line. So, he gets ahead of his teammates with a little swap of positions there. But, movement, I want to drop down a bit at the start. We'll put up 6 places now, and it seems to be just edging away from Danny slightly. It looks at the moment like the 2 Alpines are... I've got a feeling they're working together. I don't think there's going to be any silliness from them, let's put it that way. I think Freeman's had another spin out of the final corner, and so yeah, I've got a feeling he's picked up some damage off lap 1. Just going to see him obviously struggle. Moment. Taylor McKenzie, by the way, who's also had a fantastic start, up 4 places. Same as Gaza as well, he's up 4 places. Fatal, though, the biggest starter, up 8 places. Is that Moomin, I think, falling down? It is. Well, in fact, it appears to be Moomin and Hunter. We'll drop down there. Oh, Moomin just has a little extra spin as well. Racing J comes by him. It's no way. Back to the running. What these little spins have meant is that Oozers is up to P11, so he's just on the edge of the points. And he is on the edge. He's running just behind P10, which is Baz, Ninja, and Fatal Defiance just ahead of that in P9. It's just a little bit of a gap between P8 and P9. Junkie Ember to the Fatal. There's a 6.5 second gap. We've got another spinner down. Oh, it's movement. Oh, so I wonder if he's picked up some damage then. Comes around. Stays out. It's not going into the pits, so... It's going back down then. So at some point there, Danny's gotten back ahead of Whoopi. There's those... hards. Also, the mediums will still have the advantage. We're only on lap 5, or just coming up to the end of lap 5. But so the mediums will definitely still have the advantage over the hards in terms of pace. But those hard drivers will be starting to find those tyres coming towards them a little bit now. They're wearing in a bit, those hards. So they just start to feel a bit nicer after they've done a few laps, to be honest. A set of hards that have done 4 or 5 laps definitely feel better than a brand new set of hards that you just put on the car. There's no doubt about that. So, first one here, Taylor McKenzie opens up DRS. He's going to get a run here at Whale. He's up the inside, going into turn 4, and it's a clean, nice clean move. That's important. It's Alpine down to P6. Meaning their points total, as it stands, would be 20. Ferrari picking up 25, so still got to find a lot more points for Ferrari, but what you can say is Uzis is in a good position here, and he's in P11, but he's poised to pick up any little mistakes or any retirements. He's poised there, ready to enter into the points and start putting those on the board. As we've got, oh, Whoopi's had a spin. He's got going again pretty quickly. He has dropped to P6 for that one, so that's promoted an Alpine back into P5. Freeman becomes the first driver to pick up a penalty as well. 3 seconds. And Whale gets back ahead of Taylor Mackenzie in the same place as well that Taylor made the move on him. He's going to nip us onto the tyres now. Back in a situation. So the hard tyre drivers are coming back to the front. So the top 4 are all hard tyre drivers now. Obviously, that is mainly because of Whoopi's spin. But then we got a couple of free set medium drivers after that. Taylor, Whoopi and Gaza. Junkie then on hards. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, I think it's Oozers. That could be big for the championship. It is Oozers. And he's dropped to P14. Could be important as Gaza makes the move on Whoopi, getting up into P6. And the big long straight that leads up to the start-finish line and then into the centre S once more. It looks like Taylor might be close enough again here. It's going to be tight. We're going to be side by side actually in the corner here. Yeah, Taylor gets it done again. Wales got to be careful here. Taylor... Ultimately, Taylor's... Well, he's driving for a spot for next season, actually. He wants a spot for next season, and... You know, he's got a chance here to battle with the league owner, which is great. But at the same time, he don't want to... You've got to think to yourself sometimes, like, I'm just effectively reserving tonight, and there's a championship going on, so you've just got to be a bit careful. I'm not saying... I'm not for 1 second saying move or anything like that. Don't do that. But, oh, that's Gaza, isn't it? That is Gaza around, and Oozers has been round again as well. Gaza around, drops down to P8 as he gets going again. I think he's going to get overtaken there by Baz. Actually got the RS, maybe not then. He might just about hold off. Baz makes the corner nicely while having a go. Still side by side. That's a little... Did Gaza do that early enough? Did he edge out of that early enough to get DRS? I don't know if he did. I don't think he did, you know. And it's allowed Baz to actually take that position properly now. Meanwhile, User spin. It's knocked him down to P16 now. He was feeling a bit nervous, but may have a bit of frustration building, but he's just got to keep his head, because ultimately you don't know what's going to happen next. It only takes a safety car and you're right back in it again. So I definitely at no point would I rule out a safety car around here, because more often than not you do get one around here. So it's not giving me the greatest of camera angles for the broadcast. On the broadcast camera, I must admit. Gaza makes the move, gets back ahead of Baz. It's going into turn 1. Exactly where Baz got ahead of him. And Baz is going to get a chance to come back here, and he's under pressure himself from Daguner. And Daguner wise enough to back out of that. And actually, by backing out, he's ended up getting both drivers. There may have been a slight bit of contact between Baz and Gaza in turn 4, which has enabled the Gunnar, unbelievably, to get past both of them and up into P8. So that's our move of the day so far. And operator gets up in 3 seconds. So we've got Whoopi, operator, and Freeman, and I'm sure there's going to be more pop up. There's plenty of usually get plenty of penalties around Brazil. It's not as bad as Canada, for example, but you do normally still get quite a few penalties. There's a lot of corners where it's very easy just to cut ever so slightly too much. But if you don't attempt to cut them, then you don't do the good lap times. So it's you know, it's a lose-lose situation in a way. No attempts on this lap. The Gunnar holds on. I'm not sure what made the Gunnar drop down. So he's making his way back up now. Back into P8 now. And Junkie, I have to say, having an absolutely superb race again so far. A little touch on the back of Fatal Defiance there from Davey. But I think that might have been the end of a move there, actually. But Taylor and Whale are fighting again as Taylor Mackenzie gets ahead of Whale into P4. I was just sticking with this one, so I thought we're probably going to get a move, whether it's up into turn 1 or down into turn 4. Might even quite later. I think I'd probably head back off here and get the move done into turn 4 instead. I think that ended up. I think that's clever from Davey. Should get it. Should. Oh, surely. Wow. Okay. Wasn't able to get alongside. That surprises me. He was definitely close enough coming out of the centre S, but and there was a McLaren. Not a McLaren. There was a yellow flag right where a McLaren was. Oh, Whoopi's round. Just about caught him going just as I come off. So, we lap 13. I'm really not too sure who that spinner was that caused the yellow flag. I can't see anybody that's dropped down from there at the moment, but there we go. Just getting a bit of lag going on my screen at the moment, which is making me struggle. Here's Taylor Mackenzie and Whale. An absolute epic battle today so far. Just to mention the front guys, by the way, because we haven't seen them since the very start of the race, really, since Danny got back ahead of Whoopi, but and then Whoopi spun it at a later point. But Carsey is leading, and he's leading just over a second to Danny. That gap between Carsey and Danny is suspiciously static at the moment. I'm not sure. It's just changed. It's dropped to half a second. So Danny is catching the back of Carsey here. I'm really getting some lag here, guys. I do apologise if that's coming through on the stream. It's not a lot I can do. I've got all devices shut off, so only best. Tomorrow I think I might do a whole full hard reset on the Wi-Fi and everything. So Whale, well, once again getting past Taylor Mackenzie to get back up into P4. I would imagine that Rocket Reed is probably seeing this on his standings on his screen, and probably might even be thinking to himself, well, don't get involved, because points wise he doesn't need to, whereas something happened to Whale because of this battle. I mean, Reed will still be scoring enough points at the moment to hold on to the constructors, but just make it a bit more difficult. Let's go back to the two battling at the front then. It just looks like I've got a feeling that the mediums are starting to drop off slightly. Since he got past Well, he's beginning to get away now from Taylor. We are on lap 15 now, so we are getting close to the pit stop sort of time for the mediums. I'll tell you what, these front guys all opted to start on hards though. Top 6 I think it was started on hards. We're a little bit lucky. Safety car, as I say, around lap 7, 8, 9 would have played massively into the hands of the medium starters. As there, I think, Whoopi. Oh, he hasn't had a spin. Just overtakes by the looks of it. Runs wide there. And Baz goes through. He's actually driving and may have some damage or something. He's been around a few times, Whoopi, so there's every chance he's picked up some sort of damage at some point. Let's get back to our leaders. So Danny's done really well to get the gap back down to Garcia, and this is the sort of range now where Cassie, sorry, Carsey responds, mind you, with the fastest lap of the race. It's this is so we're getting to the pit stop stage. So these guys started on hards. They're going to be a few laps yet, but we've got our first pitter. Daguna is in. Daguna's maybe the first the first pit stop of the day, and he's going to attempt, by the looks of it, an undercut by going to the hards slightly earlier. Try and use those fresh hards as give him a bit of an advantage. But no problem doing it right now. I think the mediums are still too fresh to. So other drivers on the mediums, probably the overcut would be stronger, I would have thought, than the undercut at this moment in time, but depends how long you ever stay out for, doesn't it? Taylor, 3 temps up on his PB here, by the way, Taylor. On well, he's about to complete the 16th lap on these mediums, as Danny responds to Carsey's fastest lap by putting one in himself. 1:11.6 for Taylor, so he does his personal best. And that is obviously in an attempt to try and stay within a DRS of Whale, but you can visibly see now the difference that you get in as Baz is now into the pits. He's reacting, I would assume, to Daguna's pit stop. So Daguna, as you can see, is already well on his way round. He's had a decent outlap, I would say, by the looks of it. And, Baz is exiting. He's just coming down the pit lane up towards the line. But, not too bad for Baz. He's going to come out just behind Freeman, by the looks of it. Maybe just in front of Freeman. It's going to be tight between them on the exit. There's Freeman. So yeah, Freeman just about gets ahead, but of course, all those guys still have to pit except Daguna. So Daguna's pit stop looks like it's worked for him already. Obviously, he was already ahead of Baz, but the gap he's now got looks good. So, where are we? Let's go back to our Battle of the Giants at the front. As Taylor Mackenzie pits, and as I said, you could visibly see that he was beginning to struggle on those mediums, and the hards were visibly quicker. So, oh, Gaza picks up 5 seconds speed in a pit lane. He'll be annoyed with that. He is a driver that it's so rare for him to pick up a penalty in any race. So, he'll be annoyed with that. So, yeah, Daguna does go past Gaza. And again, Gaza's coming out. I'm just going to go down to that because he's coming right on top of Freeman. Literally, look, that is Gaza with Freeman directly behind him, come out right on top of him. And Baz is down. Well, he's just behind the three of those, look. So that's work for Gaz as well. Coming in a lap later to Baz by the looks of it. But, Taylor then has made his pit stop and he's out in P6 with a beautiful clear road ahead of him. He can start putting in some laps now. As long as he keeps racing Jay behind here, he don't want a guy on 18 mode lap hards getting just in front of him because he's heating his tyres up. Well, he's done a full lap now, so the hards should be... They're not going to be actually up to optimal temperature, but they should be up to a workable temperature now. And there we have it. So, well, that's where it's like great for Taylor. If he can start putting in some lap times now, he may well get the jump on Whale. Obviously, Whale's going to have the tyre advantage later on. As Hunter and Operator have a little battle. Hunter gets ahead of Operator and up into P9. As far as I'm aware, it's a debut for Hunter. I don't think he's raced before in WAOF1. So, into the points at the moment, but does have to pit still. So he comes out later on, and Junkie Emperor is in. So Taylor's going to get past comfortably. Just looking further down than that, and it's Dagooner. Junkie should get out quite comfortably ahead of Dagooner here. Dagooner's heading up straight. In fact, Dagooner is right on the back of Operator. They are... Oh, Operator came in. There's Dagooner. Donkey. Can't say Dagooner and then say Junkie. You've got to say Donkey. Yeah, he comes out in P8. Just ahead of Hunter. And... there we go. I've got a bit of an HRF1 thing going on at the moment until Hunter pits. So, Junkie with Hunter in a sandwich between Junkie Emperor and Dagooner. Place he's used to being in. He does enjoy being sandwiched by those two. As Rocket Reed is into the pits. I do apologise to Rocket's fans out there. I don't think we've really seen much of him because he's sort of disappeared from ahead of like Whale and that, so he created a gap behind him, but at the same point he fell off the front two, so we kind of stopped seeing him. I'm fully expecting at least one of these front two to come in this lap. I think the problem here is that neither the hards will still be pretty decent, so I don't think either of them will be in too much of a rush to be the first person to act. There'll be a point where they will, but let's see if either of them come in this lap. Carsey's in. So Carsey is acting first. He's going to the mediums first. Danny has stayed out. So Danny... Oh, no, he's not. Sorry, he's followed him in. My apologies. I thought he stayed out. I'm surprised he hasn't stayed out and gone for the overcut. But, surely would have been worth a go. And so Whale takes the lead of the race, at least momentarily, until he pits. But, well, extending this stint here on his hards, and it may well prove really fruitful for the second half of this race for him. Well, last third of the race, I should say. If I was Well, I would be tempted just to keep pushing this out a little bit at the moment. You've got Taylor. Just looking at where Taylor's about 20 seconds behind, roughly. What's that? About 7.5. That would be 14. Well, yeah, he is between 19 and 20 seconds behind at the moment, and the pit stop around here is about 21 seconds. So Taylor's already got 4-lap old hard, so I wouldn't. And the gap behind Taylor is to Racing J, who's still got a pit in a way. So ignore Racing J, and then the gap behind that is about 6 seconds. So in comes Whale. He should pop out the pits between Taylor and Racing J almost on top of Racing J if Racing J stays out. Let's see. Racing J. No, he heads into the pits. That's actually really good news for Whale. And Taylor is just going to come around. He's just going to get ahead, Taylor, on the right-hand side. Just about saw his wheel. So he just goes ahead. But Whale on fresh mediums now to Taylor's 5-lap-old hards. So Whale with a significant... Well, once he's gotten up to temperature, we'll have a significant tyre advantage. Reed, by the way, back into P3 and is quite happily going about the podium. A podium today for Reed will secure the Constructors' Championship. And the fact that he's got his incredibly reliable teammate this season running around in P5 as well, and what is almost certainly at some point going to turn into a P4 will mean that they really are securing the title. As Danny sets fastest lap of the race. His attempts at the moment to try and get back within a second of Carson. He's just dropped out of the second, which means he loses the DRS. Let's see if we can find ourselves a battle. Racing J also out on the fresh mediums. You'd start seeing him go forward. I think actually we could end up with this could actually be an absolutely superb recovery drive from Racing J from what happened earlier on. I'm not entirely sure what happened with Racing J, by the way. I think he just had a spin, but it dropped him almost down to the back. And, but since then, he's just been quietly going about his business. He extended his hard stint, and by doing that, he's actually come out of the pits in quite a nice position. It's past Baz, and he's going to go after Gaza, and I would assume... well, I would suggest that despite Gaza's pace, with fresh mediums, that gap is not going to last long. As Whale is now within the 1 second of Taylor McKenzie. Not quite hit the stage of an overtake though, so let's just come down. So we've got another battle here. This is, well, Racing J haven't got past Baz. Davies now on the back of Baz and is very close on the back with DRS. Sector 2 yellow flashing up, and I think that was Oozer's slow up. Yeah, I think Oozer's just slowed down for for Reed there to let, because Reed was coming up to lap him, so I think it was just Oozer's getting out of the way, which is exactly right, what we're supposed to do. As Davey goes to the outside, it's the best camera angle there, but Baz managed to fend it off this time. It's allowing Whoopi to get involved. I don't know, particularly wants to start putting his wing alongside cars right through this bit when they're already battling. It's probably asking for something to go wrong. So, just looking back up to Whale, he's got within the 1 second. We saw that earlier, but he's not made any progress since. So, yeah, I'm not in a massive rush to switch to that, but let's have a look if Davey can do anything this time. I'll look through it. Yeah, everybody's definitely pitted now. It's going to be on the outside of the Senna S. Be careful there, and then just allows him to get away, but he's going to get DRS. I don't think he's going to be close enough. And Baz goes defensive, breaks the toe. So it's the only thing we're sort of backing out halfway through the centre. Oh, Davey just got on the power, on the exit, on the curb, and it's just thrown him round, unfortunately. And so that loses that battle, but get back up to these two then. What are they up to now? But at the moment, Sailor is doing an absolutely fantastic, well, an awesome job of holding off Whale, considering Whale's on fresh mediums. I thought this move was going to be done within a couple of laps, to be honest. Just further down, Racing J has already gotten past Gaza, and he's now going to get after Dagooner, but the gap to Dagooner is just over 9 seconds, so that's going to... That may be a different story, that one. We've got 10 laps remaining, 9 seconds to gain. That is a long... When you consider at some point those mediums aren't going to be so fresh anymore, that is a lot of time for him to try and gain. As Whoopi comes into the pits. You guys see a set of softs from Whoopi. Oh, set of mediums. He'll still probably be able to take the fastest lap with those, though. So, well, unless he's got damage, then I did say earlier on, I had a suspicion he might have picked some damage up in one of the swings he's had. Right, so now with Whale, and he is now very much close enough. So this is what I'm saying. So what I'm seeing is, sorry, he's just lagging about a bit here, Whale, and picks up DRS. So for me personally, don't have a go in the S, don't have a go in the Senna S, no need. Just follow closely through the Senna S and have to go, so you get a good exit. You just had to correct slightly on the exit there, but you get to go down into turn 4, but he just had to correct slightly on the exit of the Senna S on that occasion, as we get a set to 2 yellow, and that's Whoopi. Whoopi has retired. Sure he's managed to crash around there. So crash he has. It hasn't brought out a safety car, so that's the good news. It isn't affecting the race. So to these two. Well, whether this is... I'm really not too sure, because Whale really should be flying past Sailor at this stage. So I'm just wondering if there's an element here of Whale just pretty much deciding not to battle. He's just going to hold position because of the constructors. So Ferrari, that was Oozers in his round. He's having a nightmare, unfortunately. Unlucky Oozers. It's a lap down. Just thinking ahead here, and I'm just sort of thinking in terms of the constructors. It's a 13-point gap, okay? So at the moment, Reed's P3. If he stays P3, nothing can change, because Oozers is obviously a lap down. He's not going to get any points. So as long as Reed gets to the end, Alpine definitely take it. But in terms of what Well's doing, if something did happen, if something was to happen, I'm touching wood, and I really hope it doesn't, but if something did happen to Reed, Whale needs to finish ahead of Taylor. So, because he would move up to 4th, picking up 12 points, with Carty winning the race, and potentially picking up fastest lap. Ferrari would then do it if something did happen to Reed. Now, as I say, touching wood, I really hope nothing does. But in that case, Well would need to get past, and he'd have to do it then at a point when his mediums ain't so good. So I think he probably should push for it now. Rather than just settling. He's also going to take the 3rd place in the drivers as well, isn't he? Well, off Movement. Movement down in P14. You haven't seen all race really, sorry Movement. I only saw the bits at the start when he spun. Sorry about that, mate. Well, Oozers has come in and put on a set of softs. Maybe. And Oozers wouldn't get the fastest lap in a way. Or sorry, he can get the fastest lap, of course he can, but he can't get the fastest lap point. Got to be within the top 10. trying to think out of the box here and try and think for my driver of the day. And I think at the moment, I've got to say, I think at the moment that Taylor probably is looking at taking that. He's up 6 places. Clean race so far. And he's doing an absolutely awesome job at the moment of being able to fight well off. So I don't think Well is just settling for 5th here. I think he's actually trying, but Taylor's done a great job. So, Professor Danny, considering the guy doesn't or hasn't been racing for quite a while, he's done an incredible job. Carsey doing what Carsey does, isn't he? I hate to say it, but he's actually, I'm pretty sure he's actually, yeah, he is. He's coming up to, can't be a nice feeling, but he is coming up to lap his teammate for the 2nd time. How did Oozers just manage to pick up 5 seconds for corner cutting? It's unusual. Set to 2 yellow. That is just Oozers letting people through, so no need to panic on that one. So, at some point, Carsey's extended this lead to 4.5 seconds. So maybe that yellow flag wasn't someone letting put someone through. Maybe Danny just had a little bit of a moment there. Let's put some down. And this battle continues on and on and on and on. You see, we've been going at it for the whole race pretty much. And giving us something to watch all the way through though, which is great. It's another battle materialising and at the bottom end of the points. Baz is within the 1 second of Gaza now. Baz has got a penalty, so technically Baz doesn't need to actually make an overtake. It's trying to tell a racing driver not to overtake if the opportunity arises. Well, you may as well talk to a brick wall. They ain't going to listen. They get the opportunity to throw out the inside of someone, they're going to do it. I guarantee all these guys, when they're walking down the road or walking through the supermarket or something like that, they'll in their minds they'll pretend to overtake somebody in an F1 car by taking a corner taking on the inside of a corner or something like that. I guarantee 100% every single one of them's done it. I know it makes them sound very childish, but I promise you, particularly in a supermarket when you've got the trolley and you pretending the trolley's just your F1 car and you're driving it. And you're going past I don't know, like an old lady or something, it's absolutely stopped still, they're not even moving, but you throw it out the inside of the corner pretending you're overtaking them. Oh my goodness me. I'm embarrassing myself now. So, Baz opens up the DRS. Yeah, this. Oh my goodness, after all that watching it, Whale has gotten past Taylor McKenzie and I've missed it. Well, you'll have to let him pass and then do it again so that I catch it, I'm afraid. Some penalties popping up then, I didn't see what it was, but Gaza just pulls out a little bit of, gets a better exit in the middle of sets 2 there and pulled out a little bit of time, which is going to help him defend all the way up the home straight. And I would imagine it's probably going to stop Baz getting close enough down to turn 4 as well. It really has opened up the gap. It's currently just over 7 tenths, which is it. As much as you got ERS. You got your driver ahead, isn't even flashing. He's got. Oh goodness me, Gaza! You got what? You got 90% energy for? You'll actually use it. Let's pass through. I don't know what's wrong with Gaza. Oh, he has got his fuel lights red. He might have underfueled Gaza. Well, I've come to Garcia because we are on the final lap of the race. And we've barely seen him. As I expect he's used to by now. Winning these races, I don't get to see himself on stream because he wins by too far. But to be fair, Danny has really pushed him today. And just that moment where Danny seems to... I think Danny must have had some sort of moment that made him drop off. But no, Danny's really pushed him today. Done a great job, so... So congratulations to Carsi, who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Danny takes second for McLaren. Reed finishes P3 on the podium, which will take the Constructors' Championship for Alpine. And WAOF finishes P4, which just makes it all the sweeter. Alpine are Constructors' Champions, so well done. They will both be in the podium interviews as well, because I'm going to get Well and Oozers in. Oozers might not want to chat to me. It's not because they're vying for the Constructors. I want to get them in because they're the guys that run the league, so they can have a little chat about the league. Taylor P5 and my driver of the day. Junkie Emperor P6 and my second driver of the day. Pagooner P7, Racer J P8, Baz P9. It will be when it comes round. Hunter and P10. It's a really good debut from Hunter. Picks us up a championship point. Well done. Fate of Defiance P11. Moomin was 12. I'll confirm the rest in just a second. And obviously I'll look to get the top 3 and Whale and Oozers in as well. Gengar's driver of the day to Baz, who did do a great job, so a shout out to Baz, but my driver of the day for the extra point goes to McLaren and Taylor McKenzie. Did a superb job. He came out on the podium. I'm not going to watch the podium, guys. Let's move on so that I can get the guys in and chat to them. So let me just scroll through the positions so that the guys have got them. And let me just scroll through the incidents. So it's going to be quite a lot of, well, there's going to be a huge amount of warnings going down this for corner cutting. So that's pretty much all of it. It wasn't hard. So I did keep an eye going through, and there's nothing really in terms of incidents. So, right, let's invite Corsi. Corsi, Danny, Reed. Hopefully his microphone works this week. And I want to invite Whale. And I want to invite users. Whale and users join as well, please, guys, if you're listening. Danny's just connecting. Users just joins. There's going to be 5 of you in, so it's going to be 5. I think you're all in now. So if you can all just include your audio first, please.
Here, if you're playing We Are the Champions, I think it might copyright, and I'll get Hilly's Twitch taken down, so be careful about that. I think it happened once before in a league I was in.
Yeah, it can do, yeah. Right, in a way, so
it's going to be 5 if you win,
let's do the... Oh, I can hear myself, it's weird.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Happy days.
Right, let's come to third place first. We'll do the usual order. So, excellent, Mr. Reed. Congratulations on the podium, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Obviously, that along with Wales' fourth place as well consolidates or takes the constructors' championship. So congratulations to you two in Alpine. Brilliant all season and thoroughly deserved. So well done to you two. But in terms of you for the third place today, how did it go for you today? What was the race like? It was a bit quiet. It looked to me for you.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the times. Obviously, 36 laps. Those two boys were about half a second lap faster than me, and there was nothing I could have done about that. So, more power to them. And they're two drivers. I had nothing else. And yeah, I drove a clean race. That's the best I had. So, I mean, my race pace probably doesn't match my quality pace very well, but maybe that's with such little experience. Maybe that will come, and hopefully it will. But those two boys are in another league, certainly at the minute.
Yeah, yeah, they were fantastic today. There's no doubt about
And
that.
for
But
Danny to for Danny to sit with Carsey like that, I think is unbelievable.
all right, I was about to say that to him in his interview, so all right, shush. Um, um, in a way, congratulations to you, mate, on P3. I'll move on because we've also
Thank
got
you,
a
mate.
little bit extra in interviews to do today, so it's going to take a while. So,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Danny, P2 on. Can we call this a comeback race?
Maybe. Not sure.
Maybe. Well, I'm going to in a way. So, a comeback race it is. Not been driving for a little while. You tried your best and you really stuck with car seat through the vast majority of the race, and really battled him. But obviously P2 in the end. I didn't see why you fell off a little bit at the end. I don't know whether you just eased off or whether you had a little spin or anything.
Oh, I had a spin. I had a
You
little
did.
spin, yeah.
Okay.
I was pushing.
Yeah. I thought that you might have done because I did see a yellow flag, but yeah, I didn't see exactly what happened. Anyway, congratulations on P2. So was it very much just chasing Carsey for the race then, or did you have anything else going on?
No, I was just chasing that red car for the whole race. So I was pretty happy to see him in front of me all the time because it's really motivating, like to see your car in front of you and it's not getting away.
Yeah.
And yeah, that really motivated me for the whole race. I tried really hard, but I mean, at one point you just go over the limit and then yeah,
Yeah.
sadly I was it then, so I couldn't stick at the end with him. So
Yeah.
yeah, but pretty happy. I think for a washed-up controller driver like me, I'll take it.
Yeah.
For like what you said, like a comeback race.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Ultimately, you did really well to perform the way you have when you haven't been racing so much, for a little while now. There was a little moment right at the start when Whoopi got ahead up into P2, and it looked like he was going to be able to battle with the two of you as well, but you got back ahead of him and then he had a little spin, but I don't know whether it's just a tyre difference at the start, but yeah. Anyway,
he did not help me at all.
no, but you did well to then, because you had to catch back up to Carsey initially, and then you did that really well. So, anyway, I'll come on to Carsey. So, congratulations, another victory for you, mate. Another dominating victory, pretty much. Although it was, you were kept honest there, by Danny. But yeah, well done from your point of view.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Like I really was pushing every lap. Like there was none of the race down there. He really was arguably maybe even a bit faster than me. We were actually talking to each other during the race, so it meant there would be no stupid moves again on me. Then I'd have been right there to shout at him. But yeah, and then I had that gap from Whippy overtaking him, which was just very lucky, and then I had a half spin of myself that got him back up, and then the rest of it was just trying to break the RS. Suddenly he was too quick, and then eventually I got up to like 1.5, and he kept getting closer and closer.
Yep. Okay.
And Danny just slowed down a bit at that wee mistake.
Yeah. Sorry, you're cutting out a bit for me at the moment, so I'm not sure exactly what you're saying, but I mean, I've just been kicked out of the lobby. Can you guys still hear me? You hear me? Yeah. Oh, cool. It's all right. Yeah, it just kicked me out of the lobby. So yeah, you've done what you could. There for Oozers, there was a moment there. Well, Oozers is with us, so I'll talk to Oozers quickly. There was a moment earlier in the race you'd managed to actually have a decent start, and you'd gotten up to P11. Um, so you were in the right place, and you were to sort of feed off people's mistakes, but it's just a little spin made you drop back. But you are there, right, Oozers? I'm not talking to myself here. Yeah. Um, Yeah, so I wasn't going to talk to you about the race at all, or well, that's not why you're in here. So just ignore what I just said. But yeah, we'll call that a statement. But you had a little spin, dropped you to the back, and then trying to make it back up. But never mind. In a way, the reason you two are in here, Whale and Oozers, congratulations, Whale, as well, on the constructors. But the reason you two are in here, not to talk about the race, you're in here to talk about the league. So I did think about giving you a heads up that I was going to do this earlier on, but I thought, no, I'll surprise him. Yeah, no, I thought, no, I'll surprise him. Um, right, anyway, so next season, when? 10th of January. And which track are we starting at? Spain. Oh dear, you're going to get a driver backlash off of that. They don't like it. Um, you love Spain. I like Spain. It's usually a good race around there, but oh, cool. Yeah. So, well, there you go. Um, excellent. What was the other question I wanted to ask you? Um, oh yeah, when are you going to send out Carsey's trophies to him? Okay. Is this when you're going to send Carsey's trophies out to him? Oh, I think he deserves it, but there you are. They're tight fuckers, aren't they, Carsey? Uh, so, although Well's not that tight, can I just say, well, you're not that tight. You're quite lovely because you did subscribe again today. So 7 months now. So thank you very much. Um, excellent. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's just lovely. I'm a bit dizzy after a whole season, like, but but no, yeah. I'll see the teams and the drivers are all sorted. We've got a full grid already, I believe. Yeah, excellent. There's going to be more great racing. So there you go then, guys. So come back 10th of January. You can ignore me till then if you want, but there is other streams going on if you want to watch them. But WAOF1 will be back the 10th of January at Spain for season 2 to see if anybody can beat Carsey in some way or another. But yeah, um, excellent. Well, thank you very much. As always, guys, thank you ever so much to everybody that's watched live and everybody who watched the stream back at a later point. I hope you enjoyed it throughout the season. And, just massive thank you to all of you from me and Oozers and Well as well. Um, so, yeah, thank you very much. Good night. Enjoy the Christmas and New Year, and happy Christmas, happy New Year, and all that sort of stuff. And I will see you again on the 10th of January. Good night.